Welcome back, everybody. I've got some special episodes coming up for you. Recently, we had a masterclass from Jay Massey, aka the Cashflow Diary. If you've never heard of Jay Massey, you're going to by the end of this podcast. He came in and did a very special session for the Boostly Academy members, and he wowed everybody. What I want to do is I wanted to take that hour and a half interview, break it down to short little daily segments that you can consume and put into practice for your own business. Some of the videos are going to be very visual. So if you're listening on the audio version, please do jump over to the YouTube channel, type in Boostly Jay Massey, and you'll be able to see the video version. But most important, what I want for you to do is to see the feedback, to see what he was giving to the host, and then see how you can put it into your own business. If you want to go find out more about Jay, it's at Cashflow Diary. I just want to say a big thank you to Jay for doing this. He's a very busy man. His approach, his method, his why is so powerful, and it was super honest, as he always is. He's very, very popular on the Clubhouse. I appear in a room with him every Thursday at 6 p.m. UK time, and he's always helping and giving, and I just sit back and I am at awe of how clever and the advice he's able to give. It helps me improve as well, which is, I never thought I'd get that from Clubhouse, but Jay gives that. So again, thank you from me to Jay, to the Boostly Academy members, and thank you to you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoy it. Please, as always, send your feedback, mark@boostly.co.uk. And without further ado, let's get on with today's episode.
Ultimately, when I'm looking at this at the beginning, again, I like where you're going with the live at the Cozumel, situation. I would encourage you to rethink your logo a bit, as well as the font you chose. That's literally the first thing I'm looking at. Now, right behind that, I did not pull it up on a mobile device because 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm going to be using anyway. Which means that now, what's going to happen is that once how it looks on mobile. Yeah. All right. So UI, UX, user interface and user experience. There's got to be someone who does that type of work. And then, yes, what you just saw there, what Mark just showed us, is that those reviews, why are they so far at the bottom? I would want that sooner. That exactly. Is that Rapuso? Because that's what it looks like.
I don't know who I use. It's one of them.
Okay, that's fine. But yes, I would want that closer to the top, because the first thing you've got to build is that trust factor, if you will. So that's what matters. Is I don't know you yet, and I would like to know you, but you've got to build that trust. Like, who else stays there? And you made him, I think it was two scrolls below the fold before we even got to that. And I'm like, okay, so that's potentially a challenge. Now, I love the idea of what you're talking about with the coffee and whatnot, but I don't know that I would have all of this on this very long one page. Do you get my meaning? Because I don't know what your load time is, but I would really want to look at that. And are you using AMP? Do you know what I mean when I say that?
No, I do not.
Got it. So there's two different ways of getting the format of the website to be speedy and formatted. One for mobile, one for desktop, and I would definitely look into that as well. I'd want to be really, really clear about what I want people to do. And I get the fact that you want them to book, but that's a problem because what is your bounce rate? Do you know? It's got to be high.
It's 40 to 50.
Your bounce rate is 40 to 50?
Yes.
Is this the page they're entering on? Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, that's better than what I thought it was going to be. I will say that for sure. So that's good. And once I do click the book, all right, so then I've got, again, brand consistency challenges. Again, I've already mentioned the logo. I've already mentioned the font, but even on my phone, Wait, go back to the top. Is it there? Yeah. You've got Stingray Villa on the left and you got Stingray Villa over the top, and that's very valuable real estate. And I don't know that that's the best place for what it is. Do you have Hotjar or something that is doing heat mapping for you?
No, sir.
I would encourage you strongly to find a heat mapping tool and get that sucker plugged in immediately, because I think it's going to give you some information around what your customers are doing, where they're clicking, more importantly, where they're not clicking, and where you've got some wasted space, whether on mobile and or desktop. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I can keep going, but Mark, am I in the realm of what you were thinking?
No, you've done fantastic, and everything that I wanted. And again, all the context is that Greg is doing like really well, booked up, etc. But I think this is always the trick to go down, is that you could always there's always something you feel like you need to do. What I'll do, I'll make sure that on the write up, I'll make sure we get Crazy Egg, Hotjar, which are the screen recording ones, in for you, Jay. Greg should be able to check that out, and everybody else. Also, what I'll do as well is just put some other little hints and tips in that blog post as well. But Jake,
a couple other things. Yeah. We're fast. So
while you're doing that, just as you're doing that, your camera has frozen. We can't see that lovely face.
My bad. I didn't realize.
As you're doing that, as you're giving more advice, there you go. You're back.
I'm back. So the other thing that I was thinking about, and when looking at it, is the fact that you are booked. That's good. And also bad, because it could mean that there's likely a significant amount of money left on the table because of what you were talking about. Again, pent up demand, et cetera, et cetera. So while yes, it may sound or feel good to be at 100%, I hate it, because it always makes me think I left money on the table or there was something I missed, right? So I don't know if you're doing any pricing studies or tests, but that's something I didn't see it there. I only could find one room. But the reason I'm saying these things is not because, okay, you're booked and that's bad. I'm saying that there's probably even more revenue available for you that you could get, or you could build additional units or go get a bigger property or something, if we just had the data to support it. And I want to be always collecting all of the data you need in order to replicate success. Because if you're going to then build a new website for the next location, you need to know what's working, why, and or why not. And all of those tools are designed so that you can reverse engineer a system that you can then just literally launch and do these things this way, and always have your control that you are split testing against, which gets me to, do you have a split test version of this site?
No, sir.
Got it. Well, I don't. I will let that stop. I think I've made all of the points. Yeah. I'm just saying, I think all of those things will just help you earn more money. Because are you emailing your people after at all?
Yes.
Okay. Woohoo! I got one. All right, excellent. And then, are you asking them, or do you have a referral program of some kind?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Perfect. And then, does your customer get paid if the referral books?
I don't have it set up for money. They get a couple free nights.
That sounds like a lot. Wouldn't you rather give them like $10 or $15?
Yeah, I guess so.
So that just hear what I'm saying. Immediate gratification of the $10 to $15 is probably way better than a couple of free nights, because that you're actually getting to my next question. The customer acquisition cost, do you know what it is?
No, sir.
Are you running any ads?
No, I'm not.
Got it. Okay. Well, and you're not running any ads, so that means you're not necessarily spending any money in that regard. So no big deal. Does the space have a YouTube channel?
Yes, it does.
And when was the last time you posted a video?
6 months ago.
Okay. I would encourage you to post. Do you have a drone? Like even the mini one, the super mini one?
I have no drones. I'm droneless.
Okay, got it. I think, and so review this later, and everywhere you said no, those are items that can increase your revenue.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. I'll let it sit there. Is there anything you want to ask me though about why any of those things? But does it all make sense?
It all makes sense, and it just gives me another avenue to educate myself.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Bruce Lee podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.